It's Friday morning, about 5 after 9, and in 10 minutes the bus to Tytuvėnai should be arriving at the platform. Okay, I'm on my way. Now I am going to tell you why I am going to this little town of Tytuvėnai. My father was born in 1913 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, but his father had immigrated to there from Lithuania. Actually, in those days, around 1900, these regions of Lithuania were part of the Russian Empire. My father knew only that his father, my grandfather, Morris, had come from a village named Tytuvėnai in Kovna gubernia. That's the salmon-colored region on this historical map. And the town of Tytuvėnai is about where that arrow is. Tytuvėnai and Kovna were the Yiddish names for Tytuvėnai and Kaunas. So Tytuvėnai was a mythical place that my grandfather came from in my imagination, and I hardly gave it more thought. And then, in recent years, I started doing a little research on Jewish genealogy on the internet and came up with the fact that Tytuvėnai is Tytuvėnai in Lithuania. My parents had passed away by this time, but I did have in my possession a passport dated 1928 from my grandfather, who had traveled back to Lithuania presumably because his mother was dying, or whatever reason, we were not sure. And along with the passport was this ID card inside that stated that Morris was of the Jewish faith and that his destination was Tytuvėnai. It was in Yiddish and in Lithuanian. So now I knew that Tytuvėnai was indeed Tytuvėnai and that it was still on the map. All right, I'm finally here. I'm in Tytuvėnai, and some young man helped me find the direction to the hotel. And that building in the distance is apparently the hotel. Okay, let's hope I can check in. Well, I've just checked into this little guest house in Tytuvėnai, and I'm very pleased with the room. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a very clean, nice place. It ought to be for $50 a night. And let's see the bathroom. Looks great. Okay, I only have one night here, so I need to get going and discover this place. So down the road is this entrance to the Tytuvėnai Regional Park. It's not in English. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this thing is. Let's see if I can get some information here. Well, this is a beautiful little spot near the hotel that I'm staying in, right next to this old monastery. And I'm going to see if I can walk to the Holocaust site outside of the town. The population of this town today is just under 2,000. Before World War II, it was about 1,200, of which 20% were Jews. At that time, it was a popular resort town because it was close to lakes and forests. Okay, I'm looking at Google Maps, and it looks like, I don't know what that sign says, but that's the road that will take me to the killing site. memorial. Let's go into the forest. I hope there are no wild bears or mountain lions here, because I don't have anything to protect me. Well, going to keep walking. At least the weather's beautiful. It's kind of crisp in this forest. And I've picked up a stone in case I get attacked by a wild animal or, who knows, an anti-Semitic Lithuanian. Who knows? There's certainly enough anti-Semitic Americans, so why not here? Okay, there's a slight fork here, and there's a small path that seems to go in this direction, which, according to my Google Maps, seems to be the direction that this memorial is. So maybe I should try it. Oh, that road didn't go anywhere, so I went back to the other one, and I just came across this stone, 1863. I don't understand what it says. Well, I subsequently read that in 1863 there was an uprising of residents of the town against Tsarist rule, so this must have to do with a commemoration of the victims of that uprising. Let's keep going. Here in the middle of nowhere is this little homestead, beautifully manicured. And somewhere in that direction, behind the house, is where this memorial is supposed to be. Well, I knocked on that door and there seems to be nobody at home. And there's no path here. There's just wild brush, and the map's direction points in that direction. And because I didn't have data, I couldn't locate the actual way you go here. I just was following the arrow. Shoot, I'm wasting the afternoon. I don't know what to do. This is horrible. I'm trudging through knee-deep vegetation. I have shorts on. I'm getting all bitten up. And it's supposed to be like about 500 feet in that direction, but I've obviously taken the wrong path. I can't go through this anymore. I tried. I might be in luck. I reached this forest where the walking is easier, and I've stumbled on a path. And hopefully that's going to lead me there. Oops. Keeps going. Let's see. I think we've got it. I think we found it. Isn't this something? This does not look exactly well maintained, but this is it. This is it. Well, obviously somebody is maintaining the lawn around it so that you can at least walk to it. But certainly this fence has fallen into decay, and clearly there was a gate here once. Okay, I better get back before the sun goes down and I get lost. Well, that was an adventure to finally get to that little memorial, all solitary and lonely, neglected in the middle of the woods. I'm glad I didn't rent a bicycle. This would have been too difficult coming this way. But I think I can make it back pretty easily. I'm just following this road. Okay, on this path there is a marker. Holocaust mass graves, 300 meters. And here's another one, although that says 400 meters. All right. Which way? So this is the road I was on, and I took the wrong fork. So it'd be nice if that were marked. But anyway, heading back. There's a bench there, so maybe someone was thinking about the hikers. Every time I see one of these old ramshackle wood houses, I just wonder whether that existed in 1900. Now this building, as I expected, says Tytuvėnai Gymnasia, so this must be a school. Well, let's see if should I take a tour of this monastery? It's probably the main Goyish attraction in this town. The plaster in the walls is all deteriorated. Looks like there was once paintings there. This church and the former Bernardine monastery form one of the most sacred and largest religious complexes in Lithuania. The monastery closed in 1864, and after that there was a varied history, but overall the complex fell into neglect. It was renovated in the 1960s and 70s. Today the complex is part of the John Paul II Pilgrim's Way. Well, I have a nice view of the Bernardine Monastery from my hotel room, and another view on the main road, or one of the main roads out there. Oh, this is a Gentile cemetery right next to the bus station, basically. It's pretty big. Most of the dates I see are mostly 20th century. I'm just walking here trying to get a feel for wherever the center of the town was, and I can't seem to get any information as to whether there was a central area, but probably the Jewish population was spread throughout the area, not just in one little neighborhood. I've walked up a little hill here, and I'm intrigued by the old dilapidated houses, but most of what you see is more recent construction. I wonder if this hill that I'm on is the Shapiro Hill that I read about, but who knows? At least the weather is beautiful. There's a lagoon down there. Some very nice houses up here. Let's continue. I don't want to stray too far from the center. I asked the young man, who's the son of the proprietor of the hotel I'm staying at, about an old market, and I think he said this was the location of the old market. I don't know. I'm thinking if it was, this would have been a central hub of activity for the Jewish merchants in the town. And it's also not that far from the forest where the Jewish population was murdered in 1941. So Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a tour guide that could reconstruct that history before the war? But I think I kind of doubt that. So this is evidently the little commercial focus of the town. There was a nice little supermarket there. I just grabbed a few things, and the bus station is right up the block. Well, I'm going to have a dinner at the hotel in about an hour or two, so until then I've stopped at the little supermarket here to get appears to be a garlic roll and a non-alcoholic beer. This is the lady who owns the hotel I'm staying at here in Tytuvėnai, and I have asked her about the Jewish history, and I showed her an internet reference to a woman who used to teach high school here, and it turns out that her husband was a student of this woman who was the only Jewish person in town and now lives in Israel, and she's on Facebook. My next step is to contact her, Tatiana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it's Saturday morning, and I just showed the proprietor at breakfast a picture on the internet of the old rabbi's house in Tytuvėnai, and she knew exactly where it was. It's right around the corner from the hotel, and here it is. That's the house she pointed to, which was supposedly the rabbi's house, purchased a couple years ago and is under renovation. So I presume that this area up here, it's kind of on an elevated area, may have been heavily Jewish. Of course, there are obviously new apartments, but you know, what you see here is almost all newer construction from what it was 50 years ago or 80 years ago. Well, I'm walking quickly to the same area of the forest where my research has shown me that there's a second mass killing site nearby. I'm going to see if I can find that. I'm following this path. I come to these two markers again. Now I understand. This one is pointing in that direction. It's 400 meters. And yesterday I went in this direction to that first site that I saw. So let's go back, and I think this is going to take me to the other memorial. Here's another marker. So I'm going in the right way. I see it ahead. All right. No path that I'm seeing here, and I'm wandering just using the GPS through twigs and branches, and I think I finally see it. There it is. There was a path coming from this direction, and here it is. And the wood gate is still intact here. So this was a site where 140 women and children were rounded up in the middle of the night and buried here, I guess it was. Probably some of these people would have been genetically closely related to me, since they were from the same town. All right, I'll take a couple photos, and this time I'm going to walk back via that path there. Gotta run. My bus leaves in about 45 minutes and I have to check out. Well, I finally caught the bus at 11 o'clock. So I'm on my way to Tytuvėnai now.